Greetings and the best of salutations. It will be prayer, power, peace, patience, and prosperity. I often said that um, people are only responding due to the extent of the damage and the injury that has been done to his or her humanity. Severely, moderate, or mild. There is a saying that deals with a term called adversity. If you are able, it builds what? Strength or character. You know the language in which many use in the society to overcome an adversity. There's a saying that out of difficulty comes ease. Sayings is like proverbial phrases. There is wisdom in the sayings, a meaning behind the meaning, a message behind the message. In relationships, in relationship one with another, in our relationship with this creation. The difficulty in trying to establish and build a healthy whole relationship with self as well as with others. The emotional distress, the mental anguish, problem, the complications, the trouble, and the crisis. Distress is a cry. Maybe it's a cry for help. And no one hears your cry, and that becomes a problem. When it becomes a problem, it's also associated with becoming complicated, and you can become a complicated individual and trying to form and establish a relationship with self as well as with others on this plane of existence. And being unable to do so becomes troubling. Then it becomes a crisis. The material that has been given to us to build on our humanity is character. Someone says, well, what is character? It's something that distinguishes you as being human, being human. Crisis can either strengthen you or weaken you, and what needs to be strengthened is our accountability. I've learned that character is the outgrowth of one's humanity. But this adversity, and deal with the word adverse as it is defined and unexpected. That which is unexpected. I realize an unfulfilled expectation leads to frustration. Behind that is a spirit of deception. But let's look at the definition. If we use this definition, that which is unexpected, that which you cannot give account for. And when it comes to human relationships, one with another, and the benefits of this creation, that which is unexpected cannot be accounted for. It has association with irresponsibility. Irresponsibility. It is known that nature comes to awakens our conscious, and once it hits our intelligence, we become intelligent, and therefore we become responsible. It convicts our conscious for the opportunity to show appreciation for life, one with another, and its relationship with each other in this creation. Something that is unexpected, that which we cannot account for. It is an intangible that we probably cannot put our hands on, but the definition is very on point. It comes to adverse effect. You know, where there is a cause, there is an effect, and some would say that, not some, I've learned that the Greeks mastered the cause and effects, and in the society in which we live, they create a cause and they create effects. They created a litmus test, and that litmus test is how they establish data. Don't mean that it's so because statistics benefit the statistician, and even in relationships with male and female and human relationships, it is difficult, it is complicated. What makes it complicated? What makes this society and world complicated when it comes to the distribution of wealth? One sees a home and he or she have problems in being able to attain that home because the system that is set up in a way that makes it difficult for that individual to be able to attain that home, obtain that home. And some would say, well, it is on you, and place a burden on the individual and make it very difficult for that individual when you create what is called capitalism, all these isms, socialism, communism, whatever ism there may be. These are systems that has been created by human beings. Human beings that are distressed, that have problems. They're complicated. They are troubled. They are in crisis, but yet they could be in the now of the crisis and the trouble that they have in relating with themselves and with others in this creation in which humans live in. You have to learn character. But this unexpected medical problem, it says it is a medical problem. It didn't say mental problem, but it is a medical problem. Those who are in the field of the medical field could explain that a little more. But it is a medical problem that happens during treatment. During treatment, I always advocate for reverential treatment. People always talk about royalty. They have associated with blood and human blood, but blood in the body is not to be shed. It is to benefit the body, the human being, not to be shed. So royalty is how we treat one another. That's the problem. How we treat one another, how we relate one another, how we the intentions behind this creation that has been created for us, the difficulty in the relationship one with another, the difficulty of obtaining and living a life of decency, of honor, and integrity in a world of an abundance. The difficulty, the adverse effect. It happens during treatment. That which we consume with our eyes, with our ears, with our emotions, our thoughts, feelings, our attitude, our language, and our actions. The treatment. Well, you can look at it, as people use terms like trick or treat. It's a treat, something that you are being rewarded for. And you can be rewarded for bad behavior. I look at in the society, media, press, and television, what they call the so-called celebrities. They're being rewarded. How much money can you make? And continuing fostering foolishness with these silly ass commercials. How much? So if there is a medical problem, and the medical problem in the medication that is being given to a group of people, as it is how it is being administered to them, it is a drug that is designed to continue to dope the people, to keep them addicted to the problem of these the 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 mistreatment, I should say, of one with another. It is a mistreatment. Anytime there's a mistreatment, there is a misguidance. Something that is missing, that which is to miss the mark. It is accountability. We have been irresponsible, being accountable. So there is a distress, there is a problem, there are complications, that's troubling, and there's a crisis. So this drug or other therapy, in the definition, it it may be mild when it comes to people only responding due to the extent of the injury that has been done to his or her humanity. It may be mild damage, it may be moderate damage, it may be severe damage to one's humanity. And the difficulty and the complication and the crisis and the troubling of relating with self, the therapy of self, and what this creation gives us, in one with another. We look at the process of the coca leaf, in its original form. It is to therapeutic reasons, but when it becomes processed and distributed through nations, and people become addicted to the numbing of their humanity and how we interact and interact one with another in this creation. There lies a problem again. So, what is to be expected from the unexpected is to be expected. This treatment of one's humanity, one with another. You know how some in the dealing with animals, they call it a humane society. This mild, moderate, and severe treatment of one's humanity may be, it's a maybe, caused by something and other than the drug or therapy being given. Blame it on what you want. Problems are human made, problems are human solved. There is something called medical recreation use. The challenge is who decides and for what intention and to what end that those in the medical field decides to use any form of medication for recreational use. If you look at the word itself, it is a form of recreation. Are we recreating distress, problem, complication, trouble, and crisis, and not dealing with the causal root of the distress, of the problems, of the complication, of the trouble, of the crisis? It is the cause that creates the effect. It is the intentions that is behind it, which is determined and judged by our actions as a humanity, as a human person, beyond race, beyond class, beyond gender, beyond economics, beyond politics, beyond education. It is a system, a way of thinking in the distribution, in the administering of the drug. That creates the adverse effect of race, class, gender, economics, politics, education, Yes, in religion. And it comes out of the mind, of the imagination of humans. And if that mind and that imagination of that human is not healthy, you become pawns of recreating his or her reality. And you be living out. Someone says that all world is a stage with merely actors in a play. You are playing a role for them, and they will reward you for that. You will be celebrated, and it becomes a drug to them. They become intoxicated by it, and they take pleasure in it. And therefore, that intoxication and that drug and that pleasure becomes so addictive in the system, in the society, amongst the people, that the people become entertained by things that they cannot understand, and it becomes a fix. They become addicted to it and accept it as the reality when it's not the reality. It is a simulated reality that's been given to us by a conjecturer, a master magician. None should be struggling financially in a world of abundance. So what is happening in the society in which we live at this present day, that there is a redefining and a refining of this learning environment by a power much greater than ourselves.